Creative4democracy is a great opportunity of 3 countries, 3 cities and 3 big institutions of the cultural environment in Europe to be linked together in the name of art, creativity and the strength for democracy. We believe that we are in a very tough moment of our history. We should defend democracy, but we can't start thinking that it's a cultural issue or it's an issue belonging to the institutions. But it's an issue that links together the citizens of all European countries, and art, creativity, theaters, performing arts are one of the languages that we use to link together in a bottom-up method the target of Fondazione Feltrinelli, to be very, very involved in updating the sense of democracy, not for the owners or for the producers of culture, but for the people.
We take part, the Balie takes part, because we believe it's very important to broaden the conversation out of the national sphere to the European sphere. It's very important that you not only talk amongst your own nation, but that we open up conversations across Europe. Europe is a political union, it's a political space. It's very important that we understand each other and that we get to know each other. But even more difficult is to talk with each other.
Foundation Stadtmuseum Berlin, Stiftung Stadtmuseum Berlin, is participating in this project because they want to learn from Milan, Milano, and from Amsterdam on a specific subject, participation. People from the city, communities from the city working together with our institutions to produce products that normally we would make ourselves, but now we will make it with those people. And this is a very important aspect for our future, since we are developing one of our old museums into a completely new content. It's called the Merkersjes Museum, together with another building which will be a very active building in which the community will work. We will have a new situation with a lot of participation, and we want to learn. We want to learn from Milan, Milano, and we want to learn from Amsterdam. How do they work with the city community on products in which the city community participates actively and produces with the institution?
We started our history from archives and libraries, something that it's not intended to be in contact with the audiences. And the most important target of our recent history has been to give a voice to these archives and these libraries, to build kind of connections between the history of the 20th century and the contemporary issues. And now the next level opportunities of this institution is not only to see how to get off from the archive the sources, but to build links with the people between the energy and the empathy of creativity and arts. This is what our recent histories take to Creative4democracy, particularly considering some specific projects of the recent years of Fondazione Feltrinelli, when we ask the people to be part of our project, and it's been so magnificent, the result, and these results are the most important contribution to the success of the project.
For us at the Balie, it's very important to have citizens talk to each other and realize that the democracy is only able to exist and grow if citizens take part in it. And if citizens are asked to participate in it and can participate. So a conversation among citizens is very, very important. That's what we do, what we've been doing for years. We've been talking, for instance, We've organized talks with the biggest steel industry, Tata Steel, with Greenpeace and people who are living around those steel industries. So we're good at getting to know each other, connecting to each other, and talking to each other. And doing that by not a straightforward conversation, but having people meet. And art plays a very important role in that.
The City Museum is a history museum, and we are developing a new place. It's called the Museum Quarter for the future, 2028. It's going to be an activity center with a museum. Now we're working with Milano and Amsterdam, who also work with communities in the city. And at the moment we also have partners because we are an exhibition in a big building, the rebuilt palace in Berlin, the Humboldt Forum, it's called. University is there, and there's an overall organization. We're working together to find out what we can do in Berlin and what we think we can give to the others, which could be our participatory involvement they might want to know, is that we are working with communities in the city on small exhibitions. And we have several every year. Within this Humboldt Forum, we call them the free spaces, which we hand over to communities in the city, and they tell their story. And we find out how they can do it best professionally, but we step back, they tell their story, and we surface the whole production. This is just one example of what we do, and maybe that is of some importance, is our scope, but we would like to learn for the future building, the museum that we are developing, which should be a bit more than just a museum. It should also be a theater, it should be a debating center, it should be a third place. And this is what is happening in Milano and in Amsterdam. So we hope to learn a lot for the so-called Marine House. It's now called Marine House. Forget the name, we will have a better name, but for an activity center for participatory civilians of the city.